Welcome back to preview Saturday's late Premier League kick-off between Chelsea and Stoke City at Stamford Bridge. Pascal start with the home side. Didn't play too well last time out against Hull, but won the game 3-2.
Yeah, they came out on top in the end, didn't they? They started the game fantastically. Hazard with that stunning strike with his left foot. I think for me, he's been the standout best player in the Premier League this season in terms of consistency over the whole year. You look in 2015, you can make a case for maybe someone like Giroud, who's been brilliant, but over the whole season, I think Hazard has been the sort of far and away the best player in the league this season. Just week in, week out, he starts every Premier League game. He's so consistent with the ball, and I think he's just a fantastic dribbler with the ball. He seems to know how to use sort of like his body brilliantly. He doesn't look like the strongest person, but he just knows where to put his body.
Doesn't lose the ball, does he?
Doesn't
Rarely.
lose the ball, yeah. He just knows where to put his body. He's fantastic at that, and it was a great goal from him. And then Costa with the second, another early goal, great finish from him. Might have been a slight deflection on it, but still the way he sort of picked out that corner, great goal from him. And because he hasn't been too good of late, Costa, he's sort of been dipping in performance, sort of looking good some weeks, but not so good the others. But that was a great goal from him. But after that, it was they disappointed, didn't they? The first half, obviously letting in 2 goals to go in. 2-2 at the break was disappointing, and I think the first goal, that was a good goal from Hull. They worked that quite well, and it was a good finish from El Mohammadi, but the second one just inexcusable, the way Courtois dilly-dallied on the ball. I think Mourinho would have given him a blasting for that, and it's just completely unlike him, because there was a lot of questions about whether he would start ahead of Czech this season, but he got given the number 1 shirt, and well, not the actual number 1 shirt, but the number 1 status as the goalkeeper, and he'd been really good all season, but that was a bad mistake from him. And now there's talk about Czech, will he come back into the side? But I can't see that happening. It's more likely that Czech's going to leave the club this summer. But it was a bad mistake. But in the end, they came through. Loic Remy coming on and getting the winning goal, so it was a good confidence boost for him. But I don't think it was the best performance. And you look at their recent games before that, they drew 1-1 at home to Southampton. They weren't great in that one, and the game before that was when they went out of the Champions League to PSG. So of late they haven't looked too good, but they're still sitting there at the top of the table looking quite good at the moment.
Yeah, like you say, they've not been great recently, but you look at where they are on the table, 6 points clear of second place, and they've got a game in hand as well, so it would take a monumental collapse for them to throw it away now. And you think you start the season, I thought they'd win it by double points, and they probably still, looking at maybe they will, teams, there seems to be a real battle for second place now, doesn't there? You talk about the top of the table, Chelsea will, we all think they're going to win the league, but below that, it's all happening. I mean, City are their closest challengers, but they're not even guaranteed to finish in the top 4, the way it's sort of developing now, and Arsenal might fancy the chances of making a late push, but I think it would take, obviously the bookmakers will tell you that Chelsea, are going to win the league because they're massively odds on, and that's right. I think everyone predicted them to win the league start of the season, didn't they? Everyone who knows football think they would win the league, and they are going to win the league. But like I say, this game they're back at home, and I think they'll be keen. Like I said, the supporters, they've had a bit of there's been some criticism, back and forth of Mourinho criticising the fans criticising the team not playing too well, but maybe you can be too critical of your team when they're sitting top of the league. Champions League's obviously disappointing, but to win last time out is obviously good, and back at home now.
I think they'll definitely want an improved performance at home, because their last 2 home games were those PSG and Southampton games, and I think here they play Stoke and then they go to QPR in their next game after that. So I think these 2 games, if they can win both of these, they'll almost pretty much have sewn up the title, because after that, if they don't win either of these 2 games, they then face Man United and Arsenal in the 2 after that. So they're the 2 sides nearest them in terms of chasing them, because obviously City in second, but City haven't looked great at the moment. It looks like, if anything, Arsenal and United might be the biggest threats to Chelsea, if there is still a threat, really. But so they'll definitely want to win these 2 games and just put any doubt aside. But I think against Stoke, they've got a really good recent record against them, won 10 of their last 13 games, and considering in the sort of last few years, Stoke have been quite famed for getting draws off the big teams, for Chelsea to win 10 of their 13 games shows that they're not fazed by that physical approach. And I think it'd be important for them that Costa plays. He withdrew from the Spain squad, didn't he, from the international break? So there's a bit of a doubt with him, but I think he should be okay for this one. And he certainly loves a physical challenge, doesn't he? He's a real sort of loves getting involved with the defenders. Those dirty elbows here and there. I think to play against him would be horrible. The sort of player you want in your team, because he just roughs up the other team and just annoys everyone else on the other team. So playing against Stoke defenders like Shawcross, who they don't shy away from a battle, I think it could be a really good battle between those 2 sort of players.
Yeah, it could be mentioned a record against Stoke as well. I don't think they conceded in the last 3 games against Stoke as well. Scored 6 times, so obviously, like I say, they would fancy the chances. And Stoke enter the game, bit of poor form. Lost 2-1 to Palace last time out, took the lead. Diouf deflecting that goal in from Adam, and then there was a penalty incident which was really poor, wasn't it? Balassi going through, Begovic coming out. It was a collision. If anything, it would have been the free kick the other way, because Balassi's foot was higher, but the referee somehow gave the penalty. Glenn Murray sticks it away, and Palace played well after that, got the goal before half time with Zaha, and I think Stoke had a few chances second half, but to lose at home to Palace have been good this season, but Stoke at home to Palace, Mark Hughes would have fancied that, of getting another 3 points on the board. But I think obviously last time out made it back-to-back defeats, they lost the game before that as well, so need to be a little bit careful, and back away, poor record against Chelsea, but maybe they can cause a shock. You never know.
Maybe, like you said, it is back-to-back defeats now, and look at their fixtures coming up. They've got Chelsea here, they go to West Ham and then host Southampton, who obviously start there. So I think one thing they don't want to do is let their season peter out, because they're one of the teams, sort of them, Swansea and West Ham, they're in 8th, 9th and 10th. They're nowhere near, they're not going to break into the top 7, but there's no chance of them getting dragged into the relegation battle at all. So they just need to be, I think, a little bit careful about not letting their season peter out, because say they lose this, it's 3 defeats in a row, and then, like I said, tough games against West Ham and Southampton after that. They just don't want to go on sort of a losing streak, and because there is a chance, they're only 1 point behind Swansea in 8th, level on points of West Ham in 9th. There's a chance they can finish 8th, which is sort of best of the rest, if you like, when you've got the top 7 sides who are sort of pulling away. And if Stoke can finish there in 8th place, that would be a great achievement for them this season. And it's going to be tough to even next season say if they can build burst into that top 7, because the money and quality that those sides have, it's hard to do that. But if you can finish 8th, the best of the rest, like I said, that is a great achievement for them, and that's certainly what Mark Hughes will want to do. He won't want to let the season peter out.
Yeah, it certainly will be a good achievement. But going to Chelsea is obviously difficult. I think Chelsea have kept 16 clean sheets in the last 22 home games, so Premier League home games that is. So they're good at home, and they're the only team in the top 4 divisions in England that get to lose at home this season. So obviously that's massively impressive as well. And it's difficult to see them get anything. Can you see Stoke anything from this game?
I can't. They'll make it difficult like Stoke always do. But I think Chelsea, it's just one of these games where you can just see Chelsea, scoring maybe quite early, going 1-0 up, and then keeping it tight, and then getting a second goal around the 70-minute mark or something like that. I think Chelsea will win 2-0.
Yeah, I agree. We've seen it all before this season, haven't we? The old 2-0. He likes that result, Mourinho, so I'm going to agree as well. Perfectly comfortable wins for Chelsea in this one. Thanks for joining us.